Modern Mexico City is one of the largest, most densely populated concrete jungles on Earth. Impossible.
Today, we use artificial intelligence to peel back the asphalt and reverse time to the year 1519.
Welcome to Tenochtitlan, the capital of the Aztec Empire, a glittering, floating metropolis larger and cleaner than London or Paris at the time. It wasn't built by magic. It was a masterpiece of extreme hydraulic engineering and sheer human willpower.
But it started with nothing. In 1325, a wandering, despised tribe of nomads.
They were completely rejected by the established, powerful kingdoms surrounding the lake. Forced off the fertile shores, they had nowhere to go.
They were banished to a small, miserable, swampy island in the dead center of the lake.
Their war god commanded them to build their city exactly where they'd eagle.
But they faced an impossible engineering problem. They had no land to build houses and no soil to grow food. They invented an absolute masterpiece of agricultural technology. If they didn't have land, they would artificially manufacture it.
They drove massive wooden stakes into the shallow lake bed, weaving thick vines between them to create huge.
They then filled these enclosures with thick, nutrient-rich mud and rotting vegetation dredged directly from the lake bottom. The floating gardens, the roots of the plants locked the soil together. Because they absorbed water directly from the lake, they never needed rain. It was a brilliant, self-replicating algorithm. The Chinampas produced up to 7 harvests a year.
Instead of roads, the city was a perfect grid of interconnected canals. It was the Venice of the Americas, complete.
To defy gravity, Aztec engineers invented a massive piling system. They hammered thousands of thick wood.
They topped these pilings with tezontle, a highly porous, incredibly lightweight volcanic rock. This prevented the massive pyramids from sinking. Built upon this ingenious floating foundation, the absolute heart of the empire arose.
It wasn't built all at once. Like an onion, each successive emperor built a brand new, larger pyramid. At the summit sat 2 completely distinct shrines. The blue shrine to Tlaloc. The Templo Mayor was the center of the sacred precinct, a massive walled square containing over 7. But maintaining the cosmic algorithm required a terrifying fuel. The Aztecs believed they owed us.
They genuinely believed that if they did not physically feed human blood to the sun god, the sun would...
To project this power, the city had to be connected. They engineered 3 massive, straight stone causeways stretching for miles across the deep lake. But 200,000 people cannot drink salt water. The waters of Lake Texcoco were brackish and toxic to drink.
So they engineered the Chapultepec Aqueduct, a massive 3-mile-long twin-pipe system carrying pure...
It was brilliantly designed with 2 separate channels. While one carried water, the other could be shut down and thoroughly cleaned.
To protect against catastrophic floods, they built a 10-mile-long stone dike. It also perfectly separated.
This infrastructure fueled the greatest economy in the Americas. The central market of Tlatelolco hosted up to 60,000 people every single day.
They didn't use coins. They traded exclusively in cacao beans, incredibly rare Quetzal feathers.
While European cities of the era were drowning in filth and plague, Tenochtitlan employed 1,000 daily streets.
By 1519, the algorithm was flawless. Emperor Moctezuma II ruled a massive, terrifying empire spanning millions of people. But then, the system registered an anomaly. 8 terrifying omens appeared. Soon after, scouts reported the impossible. Massive floating mountains with white clouds had appeared off the eastern coast.
They brought terrifying alien technology. Iron swords, explosive gunpowder. The Spanish soldiers were utterly paralyzed with awe. They wrote that it looked like an enchanted city from a dream.
Invited inside as guests, Cortés executed a brazen, impossible coup. He took Emperor Moctezuma hostage inside his own palace.
The city violently revolted.
During the Night of Sorrows, the Spanish desperately fled. Hundreds drowned in the...
But Cortés didn't need swords to win. He had left behind an invisible, apocalyptic His first tactical move was brilliant and brutal. He completely severed the massive aqueducts, instantly cutting off all. But on August 13th, 1521, the impossible city finally fell. The algorithm was permanently shattered. Cortés ordered the complete, systematic destruction of the city. The Great Pyramids were torn down, and they aggressively built the new capital of New Spain, Mexico City, directly on top of the crushed, bleeding ruins of Tenochtitlan. And because they didn't understand the delicate hydraulic engineering of the indigenous people, the Spanish ultimately drained the entire lake.
The floating city was completely erased from the surface of the map, paved over by a conquering empire trying to completely rewrite history. But you cannot permanently erase a masterpiece. Every time the modern city digs a new subway or foundation,
the blood, the culture, and the absolute resilience of the Mexica people survived the apocalypse.
And in the quiet southern canals of Xochimilco, the brilliant algorithm of the floating gardens is still actively feeding people today.
The prophecy of the eagle and the snake was not defeated. It is immortalized on the modern flag.
Tenochtitlan is not a lost city. It is simply sleeping beneath the pavement.
From the floating pyramids of Mexico to the lost wonders of the ancient world, what impossible city should we completely reconstruct next?
If you want to use AI to uncover the incredible true engineering and history behind the world's greatest lost empires, subscribe right now.
An empire built on water, fueled by blood.
And beautiful beyond imagination.
The impossible algorithm of the Lake City will never be erased.
as millions of people rush blindly past the buried stones. The reflection of the past is always waiting to be found.
A heartbeat echoing through the earth. A civilization built entirely from nothing but mud, water, and sheer willpower. A paradise forged in an impossible place.
The true legacy of the Mexica people.
Watching us from the shadows of history.
Thanks for watching, and keep rebuilding the past.